Okay, this is Coach Des here. It's been a while. This is the fourth video. I'm talking about the wild card weekend, Browns versus the Chiefs. And before I get into that, I would like to just say this. You know, it's unfair that you got defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, or assistants being relieved of their duties because of a bad season. I put that on the shoulders of the head coach. If the head coach did not prepare their assistants for the upcoming game, then it falls on the head coach. Now I'm gonna tell you this is exactly what I'm talking about, so you know. I go to about 8 games on Saturday, which is in 4 different locations, and I take notes because I know I'm going to be faced with those teams, as well as on Sunday anywhere from 3 to 5 games, and usually that's at one location, and that's at Hart Park, but not all the time. It's also at a different park. But this is my notes. So this is the Milwaukee Ravens. So what if I see something or a pattern or anything, I will note it down. So what I noticed with them is number 40, who's a fullback, big boy. He is lined up by the quarterback, and he either is going to run left or right, depending on, you know, how the defense is set up. But if he's lined up here, that means he's the lead blocker going out, and it's going to another receiver. And I noticed that number 11 and 32 are their main receivers. 11 is the quarterback, but he only runs a certain direction. 32 only runs left. So when he passes it to 32, the quarterback only passes left. These are patterns that I see, that I take notes on, and then I pass it on to the coaches and let them know how they play. Same way with the prospect youth. I noticed that they had 4 wide receivers lined up. They had a receiver or sometimes a fullback back here by the quarterback. These two split, they cross each other. These two just run straight out. But that was something that I noticed that they did. And I note in particular that number 17 was his main go-to person. He only runs right, but he scored all their touchdowns. These are the notes that I take, that I pass on. And that's what you watching the film, that's what you're supposed to be taking notes on. What pattern are they running? What are they doing? What stands out? Who they go to? Which way they run? And so on and so forth. So the Browns versus the Chiefs. Now I got the Chiefs up here, and let's see if the Chiefs will be able to go to the next level, and that is to try to repeat. So they have a great rushing game. I just need to keep him from throwing the ball in the air. You got a good running game. Stick with it. As you can see, they can't shut down the run game. The Browns can't shut down the run game. 535 and 454, you're picking them up for 45, 5, 6, 7. Run it. Tire this defense out. The only thing you got to worry about is these 2.69 sacks. As you can see, you got majority of their sacks in the second quarter. That is what you need to worry about. When you hold on to that ball too long, he's going to sack you in the back. 0.75 in interceptions, 1.19 in fumbles. Well, you are sacked about 1.56, 0.75 in interception, and 0.88 in fumbles. So you got this, but you also got a good passing game. Passing to the right, 13.84, down the middle, 12.98. Well, guess what? They gonna give it to you down the middle. Not to the right, but down the middle. Your right, your left is only 10.2. You might get that from them, but eventually they're going to close that up. Because if you look, they start off strong, giving it to you 14.25 and 14 yards in the first quarter, but as they go down, they start to tighten that up. So I'm saying is, Chiefs, to keep this young man on the sideline, run the ball. Pass when you see that there's one-on-one or a weakness. Test them. But don't give up. Don't give up any interceptions or anything like what the Steelers did last week for them. Because they scored majority of their points on turnovers. So when you have 4 interceptions and 28 points come off of interceptions, you didn't do anything. The defense did. You didn't do nothing. And then you gonna call this team out? See, that's what I don't like when you call a team out. God has a way of punishing you. You just say, we're gonna get ready for the next game. And you gotta mentally prepare yourself for that game. You don't go and showboat it or do any of that on I don't like that. I don't like when y'all prematurely celebrate. Same way with dancing on a logo and the at the 50-yard line. I don't like any of that. It's disrespectful. Play your actions out there on the field. And when the clock reads 0-0 in the 4th quarter, we know who triumphed. Okay? All this other crap, y'all got to kill that. Because that ain't cool. So let's see how the Browns can defeat the Chiefs. Okay. Well, the problem I have is the Browns defense gives up 31.6 points per game. But the Chiefs only give up 22.6 per game on defense. So the offense, both of them are so close in offense because they average 25.5 points per game. The Chiefs average 29.1. So who comes out ahead in this? Well, they have a good run game, especially to the right, to the left. I know who you're going to when you go left. Y'all have to stop with these patterns in the same players. If I see it, and I'm not a veteran or a professional coach, they have to see it. If they not, then they out there playing like they still in the game, and they're not analyzing it like I do. Okay, so you do have a good passing game, but I think a lot of this is because you're passing from behind. This is what I'm worried about, the sacks, because you're averaging almost 2 per game. You're good at interceptions, but the fumbles, you got to clean up. You're averaging 1 fumble per game. Now, the Chiefs is not going to give it to you. If you look, the only thing they got is the rushing right. They're averaging 5. A little about 4 on the left. They do give up a lot of yards in passing. That's why I said y'all so close right there that it's going to come down to a last second or whoever makes the mistake of turning over the ball. Like the Steelers did for y'all. Gave you them 4 interceptions. One of you two are going to do that. Because 2 sacks he averages. They average 2 sacks per game. And this is where they get you. Right here in the 2nd and the 3rd quarter. They do average 1 fumble 1 interception per game, and a little over half a fumble. So they're coming after the quarterback, and right here is where they're gonna get you in this 2nd and 3rd quarter. So hopefully your line is healthy, and they'll be able to protect you and get you a win. But I can tell you now, I don't see it. I have the Chiefs by 9. With that being said, peace out.